Let's talk with Trey. Discussing life day by day. Together we can pave the way. The next show is underway. Let's talk with Trey. Discussing life day by day. Together we can pave the way. The next show is underway.
Hey, welcome to yet another episode of Let's Talk with Trey Bryan. You see, I got my brother Larry here once again, and we're going to go over another topic because he did a great job last time, as I was not surprised. And we're going to come with another topic here. As we always say, these are topics and conversations we have to touch everyone's life that you go through every day. Somebody is going through something or need to hear a word of something that's going to have them continue to persevere through each and every day. So now today's topic, well, let me have Larry introduce himself again in case you didn't see the last episode. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Larry.
All right, everybody, I'm back again. My name is Larry Rogers. I'm a native of St. Louis, now residing in Los Angeles, California, and I'm the co-founder of Forward Books, along with my lovely wife Paris and my son Langston Rogers. And I'm honored to be here today with my brother and my friend on Let's Talk with Trey.
All right, so we appreciate that. We are going to jump right into this topic. And today's topic is titled, If a Man Loves You, a Few Words Women Should Know. Now, this obviously is for women, but men, please watch. And if I'm off, make some comments. But these are some things that I believe that women should know if they're thinking a man loves them. And if the guys get mad at me, just get right. This is coming from the Lord. All right. So with that, we'll jump right into it. I have a few comments I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna turn to you and ask you what you think about those.
Let's get it.
So, if a man loves you, there are certain things he would not allow to be said or things done to you or around you. If a man does not care what you say or what you do, it's because he doesn't have a long-term plan for you to be in his life. Or, which means you do not really represent him at all. Or he's inferior to you, which could mean that you already settled for him. So he is going to settle for whatever and however you choose to behave. What do you think about those two comments I just mentioned?
But you try to get us in trouble.
Yeah.
But I ain't. Hey, like they say, I ain't scared. Hey, man, it's real talk. Basically, you talking real talk, man. A lot of young ladies, they need to know their value and their self-worth and who they are, and they need to stand strong as the queens that God created them to be. The virtuous women that God created them to be. One thing I love about my wife Paris, man, she was a woman before I met her, and she's still a woman now. And she always had that, that was one of her qualities that drew me to her. She's real laid back and quiet, but she can be stern when she need to be. She gonna speak up. She's not a pushover, and she was raised to know that this is how I should be treated. Her dad, was, I guess, well, I know that first example of how she should be treated as a woman, because she's daddy's girl. She the youngest, and she's daddy's girl. So when I came along, she's from Los Angeles, I'm from St. Louis. I already had that Midwest, not swing, but I already had that Midwest chivalry in me. My grandmother, back to Ophia Rogers, last time I was here talking about her, she raised me to open doors and be respectful. Even to this day, to my elders, women, I still say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. Some people get offended by it, but I had to quickly let them know, ma'am, I mean no offense. This is the way I was raised, so please don't take offense to this. Right. My grandmother jump out of heaven with a extension cord if I don't respect you as a woman.
Right. Or have you go out and get that switch
that
you had to get yourself.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to go back and look at an episode prior to this that we did called, I think the title was called Who Taught You to Hate Yourself?
Yeah.
Right? So this kind of connects with that in a way, meaning like Larry just mentioned, is you should know, like his wife Paris knew her value as a woman. she knew her value as a human being. And she knew that, hey, you got to come to me a certain way.
Yeah.
Not all women were taught that, which goes back to who taught you to hate yourself, or in this case, who taught you not to accept better treatment, right? So realize that, accept it, and then change it.
Yeah.
So let's go into some other things, because this is another topic that can go on for hours, right?
Right.
And then I don't want to get myself shot at later on by some brothers.
I got your
So
back,
I'm
man.
just gonna throw it
I got
out.
your back. Me and Dion got your back. We got your back.
Cool, because this is about Dion is the cameraman.
Yeah. Shout out to the cameraman.
Yeah. So this is everyday stuff that people go through. So I would be wrong if I said that I have a podcast where I do episodes. It's about real talk and about everyday life, and I don't bring something up that's so significant, in particular in our people of color community, of realizing that we need to realize who we are, accept that we are children of God, and that we have a certain standard we need to be in.
Yeah.
So women, realize that you are better than you think you are, and that that you deserve a certain type of treatment from not just men, but from yourself as well.
That's good.
All right. So let's go into some other topics or comments I said here. A man who loves you will not allow you to talk about yourself in any type of negative way. He will create a safe place, but the moment negativity about you, i.e., I'm unworthy to be loved, I don't deserve this job, maybe I'm not worthy to get that promotion, maybe I shouldn't do a business because I don't think I can do it. A man who loves you would turn that around and be like, who said you can't own your own business? Who said you don't deserve that promotion? What do you mean you're not worthy of being loved? I'm here. I'm your man. I'm going to love you.
Wow.
So what do you think of that?
Oh, man, this is definitely God ordained. I just today came from a business owned by a African American husband and wife couple, and it's called Styletanious Styles. It's a clothing store, boutique for women over in Ferguson, Missouri. Mm-hmm. And man, to see how the husband is so supportive of his wife, it just was amazing, and it was beautiful to see, because that's how my wife and I are, and I see the same thing with you and your wife. And so when you had that team and that partnership, man, the guy, only way he's putting her down or not encouraging her is if he's an insecure cat himself.
Right. Low
Low self-esteem, weak, intimidated, and you see that. You see that in families. You see that in all races. It's not just a black thing. You see that go around a lot. But a brother that's confident, he looks at her as his piece, not his side piece. He's not trying to have, she not his jump off and all that. He really wants to make her his all, his wife, his everything. When I met Paris in '88, I was still young and trying to make it in show business and everything. But I told her when I first saw her, I said, look, you're going to be my wife one day. It was just something about her, and I knew in my heart that she was going to be my wife. And then when I brought her to meet my grandmother, back to Ophia Rogers, and at that time my grandmother had Alzheimer's. But my grandmother, I could see it in her eyes. She lit up like a Christmas tree, bro. When I brought my fiance in Paris at the time, and my grandma smiled, man, in her eyes, you could just like see, how the cartoons you see hearts and eyes. Yeah, I saw that, and I already knew, but that was just a little bit more confirmation that that's the one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So, hey, women, run. That's all I'm telling you. If you got a guy that's not really there for you, or abusive verbally, physically, mentally, I feel like that's a coward. And I'm just gonna keep it real. I feel like cats that put their hands on women should be castrated, if you ask me.
Right.
I have no tolerance for none of that. Yeah. And it just says something about them. They got some issues that they got to work on. So a lot of dudes are not ready for a queen anyway, because they're not even a king. So let's talk about that. Yeah.
Message.
Yeah. Yeah. Real talk, bro.
He went in it.
Yeah.
But that's real talk. That's real talk, and that's what we're about, right? So let's jump on this one part. What about women that say they're independent and they don't need a man because they can do what they need to do?
No, that's
I'm gonna say this. let me jump with this.
Well, you try to get me.
If you have a real man and you're like, I'm independent, I don't care what he's doing or whatever. I mean, I can make my own. I do this thing. Listen, there's nothing wrong with making your own money. There's nothing wrong with having your own business. Nothing wrong with that. But this topic today is when a man loves you. So you can do all that and forget that you still want a man to love you. So if you got a man that say, just do what you want to do, I don't care, and then y'all going having fun, keep in mind, he might not be the one that's going to be everlasting with you. Because if a real man wants you and he see you being independent, you don't need, he's going to stop you and say, why you need to be independent? Well, no, stop. I'm going to open that door for you. You don't need to open that door for you. Chivalry, right?
Yep.
But it's real. That speaks value. Or, well, I'm going to do this. No. You can continue to do what you need to do. So don't worry about that. And more importantly, it'll be like, I'm here. I don't know what other person you've been dealing with or what's going on with you internally. Because sometimes it's them internally what they may have been taught.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm here now. You don't need to do all that. I'm here. I got you. We are a team. And that's kind of like Larry and I, we're blessed. We got beautiful wives who have our back. And a lot of time it's in, people don't even notice a lot. Only way I'm able to do stuff like this is because of my wife.
That's right.
She's taking care of stuff. She's taking care of my
Holding it
daughter
down.
who's running up and down the upstairs. I'm so she's handling business and they allow us. And then I do stuff that allow her to do some things,
Right.
just like you do the same thing with parents.
Right. It's even exchange.
So, right.
Yeah.
So it's a partnership.
There you go.
Right. So it's not I can do this and I don't need. I will argue to say everybody needs somebody. Right. So we will. That's some more food for thought. Even more so, if you think some of the things that we're saying here is good for you, I got to take this down somewhere. How about this? I got a brother here who has a journal that he wrote with his family.
Yeah.
Speaking of wife and family and children. Speak on that real quick anyway, by the way.
Wow. Yeah, man. My wife is after God, my wife is my everything, then my son, then family and friends. But we wrote this journal. I was going to come out with my memoir because, I used to tour with MC Hammer and travel the world with him. I was going to put that out first, but the Holy Spirit told me, no, put out what you love the most first, which is me, your wife, and your son. And so I stopped everything and I told my wife, I said, look, and my son, we're going to write this journal because we started this book publishing company. We want to inspire people to write. So we strategically designed it with 200 pages for you to write, and then it's filled with prayer scriptures about the power of prayer. It's called Family That Prays Together Succeeds Together. I know people have heard stays together, but you want to succeed together because you want generational wealth as well. Absolutely. You don't want to just depend on, I go to church and then you broke and don't have two nickels to rub together. Right. That's been taught for too long. I'm sick of that. Mm-hmm. So we came together, man, and it's just been a beautiful thing ever since, man. So pretty much like you were saying, partnership. My wife came from my side, because that's her spot. To this day, she's right beside me. Not behind me, not in front of me, but right beside me. And our son is in the middle, and we keeping it moving like that. But yeah, man, and this is something I wanted. Nobody really taught this to me. This is something that I wanted because it was many a times I didn't see it, growing up. I had a great uncle and auntie that I saw with. A lot of my great aunts and uncles I see it with. My Nathaniel Rogers, he since went on to be with the Lord, and his wife, Carol. They were a unit, man. And I used to love when they didn't come around a lot, but when they did come around, they were a team. Yeah. And I just kind of aspired to want to have that one day. I said, man, when I do get a wife, I want to be like my Uncle Nate. Right. I want to be like my Aunt Carol. And so now in the family, they call us Little Nate and Little Carol. So I say, hey, all right. Look, that's some big shoes to fill. But it's an honor to hear our other family and friends look at us in that light. Yeah.
Perfect. Say if someone want to ask you questions about your book, what you got an email that they can email?
Yeah. forwardbooks@gmail.com. FORWORD books@gmail.com. That's 4-word books. It's one word. And you can reach me there and ask me any questions. And like I said, you can DM me on Facebook, Larry Rogers like Dodgers. That's RODGERS, or Paris Rogers. And we'll get back with you, man, because we not that we're not that company that will turn away manuscripts. We you know, when they say we don't receive unsolicited material, you know, we used to send our demos back in the day.
Right.
Record companies used to send us that letter
Right.
that they give everybody the same letter. They just sign your name at the bottom.
Yeah.
We solicit you. So send your stuff, and like I said, if God lead us through the Holy Spirit to publish it, then that's what we do. We work out an arrangement with you. We sign you to a one-book deal with the option to renew, and then we keep it moving, man. And we got some great books coming out. We got a cat out of Vegas named Jaylon Calhoun. He got a book called Creole Tea Remedies coming out. We got a young lady from St. Louis. She now live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Diana Bethany. Mm-hmm. So her book is coming out, and it's a good topic for your show. It's called Did You Know He Doesn't Think Like You?
Have him on. We can have him on the show.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to have her on the show.
Let's do that. So as we get down to wrap this up a little bit, let's go with one more thought, and it's for you ladies. If you think you got a man that will let you do anything or say anything, then you're thinking that he loves you. That's not love. That's apathy. Right? So think about that. Buy a journal. Write it down.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to write stuff down to remind ourselves of who we are and whose we are.
Yeah. Write the vision.
That you are a child of God.
Write the
before
vision.
anything. Then you're a child of your parents.
Yeah.
Right? And then go from there. We just be forgetting that a lot, or may not even been taught. And realize your self-worth.
That's good.
Your self-worth is more than anything. You can't help anyone else out unless you help yourself first. All right? How did that? All right. With that, you got any last words you want to say?
And you said it all, brother, but I add to it. Write the vision. Make it plain. That's basically what you're saying.
Absolutely. All right, now, with that, I'm going to thank you again for tuning to another episode of Let's Talk with Trey Bryant. We'll see you the next time. Every week, we have an new episode for you. And who knows, you might see Mr. Larry QZ again. With that, talk to you guys later on. Remember, God loves you and so do we. God bless.
Peace.